Hello everyone, Ember Power here, back with another deck from Lost Origin, and this time we're going to be taking a look at a Hisuian Arcanine, more specifically, a Hisuian Arcanine deck that I think not very many people are really talking about, which is surprising to me because it seems like an obvious inclusion, and that is, of course, the Jolteon over here. But before we get into any of that, for those of you who, just need a bit of a recap or reminder of what Hisuian Arcanine does, has the attack Very Vulnerable that does 10 damage for 0 energy. If you have no cards in your hand, it does 150 more. So effectively does 160, and 1 it kills all the 1 price Pokemon in the game, and then 2 it kills all the V-Stars and VMAX. The some VMAX, however, such as the new Kyurem from Lost Origin, have 330 HP, so we have to use Choice Belt or a Grant to get up to the 190 threshold. So we can, 2-hit kill them effectively because they all have 330 HP, so the 160 would not be enough. So the big tech that a lot of people really have not seen include in their Arcanine decks, which is like very surprising, is Jolteon. So Jolteon has Thunderous Awakening as an ability that says if its Pokemon has a memory capsule attached to it, water Pokemon in play have no abilities. So looking at this, you can think of Inteleon having no abilities, Palkia has no abilities, Greninja has no abilities, Kyurem has no abilities, and it's just like, wow, very powerful card. There's also Cramorant, doesn't have abilities, so yeah, very easily to turn off all those abilities thanks to Memory Capsule on a Jolteon. Then we can obviously do this pretty easily with Zoroark, which will switch into either Jolteon or Hisuian Arcanine or Bibarel, depending on who we need it to be. We also have Mightyena over here, which will just help with knocking out Mew VMAX. However, they do play the Lost City now, so this tech card is slightly reduced in value. However, it will still 2-hit KO all the other VMAX with a belt, so stuff like Kyurem again, or the Duraludon, for example, you can still 2-hit KO them, so Mightyena is still a very important tech card to include. We also, for the trainer count, play high counts of Pokemon Surge, so 4 Evolution Incense, 4 Level Ball, 4 Quick Ball, 4 Ultra Ball, 1 Hisuian Heavy Ball, just to pick up a Pokemon from the prize cards if we have a basic prize that we need. We also play an interesting array of stadiums. We play 2 Rose Tower, which will, once during your turn, that player may draw up till 3 in their hand. So typically we have very low hand size. So if our opponent is ever able to like boss up and knock out our Bibarel, we can just use Rose Tower to draw up. We also have Path to the Peak in here, which can just turn off Pokemon with a Robux. A very strong stadium card because typically most of these Arcanine decks, they're playing like Radiant Venusaur. And what I've found with Radiant Venusaur, it's a bit of a trap. Like the opponent just bosses up, knocks it out, and then it's just gone really. And you have to use Rod and stuff to get it back, or Clara. However, if we run Path to the Peak and without the Radiant Venusaur, we can really throw a spanner in the works in a lot of decks and shut them down. So, very nice inclusion to have. We're also playing the Ball Guy supporter. That doesn't see a whole ton of play, but it is a very good card, allowing us to search our deck for 3 different item cards with Ball in their name. So we can use this to find multiple copies of Level Ball, Ultra Ball, and Quick Ball to thin out and find Bibarels. 2 Boss's Orders, just so we can guss up our opponent's stuff. We also play a copy of Grant that not only increases our damage output, obviously in Arcanine, but also once in our turn we can also discard 2 cards from our hand, except for any other Grant. Spoiler alert, we only play 1, and put this Grant from a discard pile back into our hand. So it helps with the whole, thinning the hand down to 0 card strategy. We also play 4 copies of Peony, who's just like our main kind of like draw engine bar Bibarel. Allows us to discard your hand and insert your deck for up to 2 trainer cards. Very strong supporter card. And we do play a copy of Palpad, so we can shuffle any of these supporters that we need back in, except of course Grant, because that doesn't really make a whole ton of sense. Why we would shuffle in Grant when we can just retrieve him. We also play 2 Air Balloon just so we can switch around a bit. And we also play 2 Choice Belt, as we mentioned earlier, to hit bigger damage. And then 2 Memory Capsule that we need to attach to Jolteon. So yeah, that's the deck list. Really nothing else to say. Interested to see if Arcanine sees any kind of play at Peony Regionals. Peoria, I should say. I will not like got too much faith in the deck, but being able to shut off all these abilities with Jolteon, just notice that you can also shut off Empoleon as well as the new Cramorant as well. Actually, I forgot about that with Jolteon. So seems like a very strong card to make work in a deck. And if you can get it set up properly with Zoroark, which is pretty easy thanks to this deck's high count Pokemon Surge, then it's just very easy to to just say to your opponent, alright, now you don't have an inteleon draw engine, or you can't use Kyurem's ability, and you took your Kyurem, so yeah, they also wanted kills Mizune Zork vstar, assuming they don't have a Dunsparce, so who knows. I think this could be an interesting pick for sure. So yeah, let me know what you think down below, probably do some gameplay of this at some point, and yeah, thanks for watching. It's been Ember Power, and I'll hope you see you next time. Thank you for watching.